Babe, no, you hang up first.
Nah, babe, you hang up first.
Bombastic side eye.
Why did you stop smiling?
Nothing.
I think I know what will cheer you up. Alright, babe, check your OP.
Let's check my OP.
Sure, babe.
Rakabaka seke terrible.
Oh my god, babe! You don't have to. Seriously, you didn't have to.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Like, this was not the reason why I was like giving attitude and all, but thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you know the only thing I can give you is what I don't have. Scrolling is my hobby.
So you mumu like this and not know this boy.
Literally.
Oh, I can never stop loving you. You're so thoughtful. You always know what to do. I love you.
I didn't quite catch that.
I said I love you.
I love you too, babe.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni bí ọkàn mi, àyànfẹ́ mi, wúrà mi.
Will you shut up and stop jabbering nonsense? Eh?
Sister Comfort go dey. Sister Comfort! Good evening. Whoa, I'm just coming back from class, so. Abeg, you cook anything? Okay, make I put clothes come. Make I put clothes come. Cause I no trust Favour. Favour wey dey talk to man when I comot in the morning, you come back in the evening, she go still dey talk to man. I no sure say that girl go don cook anything.
Thank you.
This pharmacy school, before you go end me, na me go end you.
Don't know why it's going on.
Person when person beg me now. She don't cook the food when we talk. Beg me. Cause I feel cry. If food no dey because
Babe.
Jesus. Favour.
What?
Favour.
Babe, I'm going to call you back. Peg me.
Favour, you dey peg.
Jesus. Babe.
Favour, you
I love
peg.
you.
Jeez.
I'll call you back.
Jesus, Favour.
What is it? What is it?
You want burn down Zion?
Please, I beg, leave me alone.
Ha. Favour, they say love is blind, but love have nose. Oh. Love have nose.
Please, oh. Is it because you've never loved before? Which one is love have nose?
Favour, na single, I no keep person. Favour, since you started talking to this guy, Favour, you don't read like you used to again. Favour, it's just morning, afternoon, evening. What is this guy they give you chop?
What does that have anything to do with you? Does it have anything to do with you? Please rest, though.
People, now you want born food. Me, when they come back, thinking say my roomie don't cook. You left class that you are purging. Now the purge, they purge with man for a year. People, you they smile.
I beg, go. Did you have to say it? Calm down.
They have jazzed you.
Jazz me as how? How did you jazz me? See now that I was on call with him, he sent for me money. Sent for me a huge amount of money.
Oh my God!
No wonder. You know, I remember one time that we were gisting that you said pharmacy school cannot give you the kind of money that you want. Now you need to do bigger things.
Rub it on my face.
So now the man you use
rub
the
it on my face. Rub
Babe,
it.
no, you hang
I
up
know.
first.
You don't even check on my results. Rub it on my face. On my test result, don't check and finish. Rub it.
Favour, you want blind. You want burn down the whole stay of Favour. Cause of man.
Please rest. Which one is man? You just call man since morning. How about rest? If you they jealous me say I get man, that one are your concern. Just they call man.
Favour, you will not like this, so I'm not saying you should not love, but at least love with sense now. Shebi if you did not become this pharmacist, if you not finish this school, you think this man will have respect for you?
I should love with sense.
Okay, you don't want to love with sense.
If love is a crime, then I want to go jail.
Wanna pour me water?
Ah, it have reached that level.
Yes, so it's not the book where I open.
Wait, because this is your matter now. I realize that it's not shouting matter. Shout cannot solve this matter. So let's sit down. Like normal human beings.
Let's have it.
Eh? As I remove my earring. Let's settle this issue. What is it? People, what happened?
What happened at
Why are you
all?
not reading the way you used to again in the name of man? You are talking to man morning, afternoon, evening, every time. People is on a call with man.
But people do change now, so I cannot change.
For pharmacy school, we know here that you are in love. I know, right? That studying can be boring.
Yes, like see, I was even reading. Look at it, micromeritics. I was reading before, but it was not entering my head, and I decided to call him. And can't you see that I was so happy when you were coming in?
How many hours have you been on this school?
It's 4 hours too much.
4 hours. People, if you are appreciating slides by now, you would have gone. See, the thing is, I'm not out here to judge you, right? Because I'm the last person that's supposed to be giving you this kind of advice. You know how I would rather be selling palm oil and shoes than be jacking up and down.
Okay.
But the truth is, see, oh yeah, let me tell you. I watched this video that this YouTuber in our class, people, I watched it on her channel.
Yeah, fine.
They play now. They play. When I start seeing my academic come back, I had to help my life. Oh,
I need to send link for me.
Send link. When you sit down, they talk to me. And you don't talk since this semester.
You attempt try send link for me when I know tap and watch them.
I know this, but the truth is that she interviewed this our University Librarian, Professor Ladi Lawal, and like was just breaking down how you can make reading like the way how you dey love your man where you dey do like say you don't drink ogogoro like this. The way that dopamine hike that you are getting from
pharmacy students. Oh my God!
Avoid me. I'm trying to help your life now. You are doing what you don't know.
Oh my God! Yes.
You get it from reading and like she broke down how you can do. Wait,
I serious?
So much man show me.
Send link for me now. You know carry your phone as they come back.
You will just enter the channel now.
Okay, make I check our YouTube. Wetin be the name? Wetin be her name abeg?
I say in Amufevo.
Favor in Namu.
Come out as I talk. As I try to do gentle can.
No verse. No verse. Okay, now make I click am.
You won't promote her.
Yeah, make I click am.
There's something happening in this generation. I've never seen a generation that is so blessed with the gift of enough information, yet more distracted, reduced focus, attention spans are shrinking, reading culture is gradually fading. This morning we're in one of the largest university libraries in West Africa, and with us this morning is somebody I greatly admire, the University Librarian, and we'll be asking her a few pertinent questions, because these are the questions in the heart of students. Thank you so much, Ma, for giving us this privilege. We are more than honored. We know how your schedules are, but yet you still found time for us. We're so grateful, Ma.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Ma. Our first question for you would be, the thing is, most students only remember library when exams are closed. But from your perspective, what do you think students misunderstand most about this space?
I think that one of the things about the library is that a number of students are very reluctant. Either the building is intimidating, or they find that the resources are too enormous. The formats are different. We have books, we have journals, we have databases. So it's the lack of training or lack of understanding the varieties of the resources that are there and how they can take advantage of using them. So I think that the way that the library has changed over the years is something that students find difficult to comprehend. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they feel they shouldn't come to the library. The library is no longer about a building, it's about access. So you don't necessarily have to come to access the physical material because it's an option of a digital copy, so long as the content is available and then students can access it from everywhere, anywhere.
Yes. Once you compare this generation, like over time that you've been in this space, would you say there is a decline in patronage of students, and what do you think could be the cause of this?
Well, I would say that, in previous generations, there were no digital options. So people have to come to the library to access books. But now, yes, there's a decline in students coming to the library. Firstly, because, like I said, they're not probably aware that we have options in digital format that they can use. And secondly, also, there is this reluctance to read just maybe even for just pleasure. They always think that it has to be exam that will bring me to the building, or there has to be an assignment. But there are resources that are just for interest. And the library space, if you consider this particular building, the concept of the digital learning space means that there are even spots for relaxation. There are others. In this building, there are spaces for restaurants. There are spaces for children's library. We intend to also have a place for a chess club.
Wow.
And we intend to have like a maker space. So it's just that the space is there are spaces which we're still developing, but there are options. A library is a learning space. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to read. There are places where you can just, when you get tired of studying for your academic, you can just pick a novel and quietly just relax. Yeah, so I think that what is needed is for the students to be aware of the fact that the library exists not just for strictly academic. There are other things you can do in the library, in the academic library now. That is the new concept that the academic libraries are becoming.
To make this space a more friendly space.
Yeah, that it's more user friendly.
What do you think is silently shaping the decline of deep thinking and reading culture among young people today?
Well, I think it didn't necessarily start from the university level. If it didn't start maybe from the home, maybe from through elementary school, secondary school, it's very difficult. So parents, families, communities have a role in trying to create that reading interest from the beginning. But I think also that the good side of technology is that it has created formats that means that students don't want anything that has to do with deep thinking. They choose something that is fast. That is fast. It means that if I don't have to read I don't have to crack my brain to think critically for myself. Why will I crack when there is ChatGPT or there is AI? There are options that means that it's making students academically lazy. Okay, it's not as if AI is all bad, but we should learn how to use it ethically, correctly, and use more of the benefits that comes with it than the disadvantages. Okay, and at the same time, students should learn to think for themselves. Just like a computer cannot think for you, artificial intelligence also doesn't think for you. You still have to have that critical thinking skills. You still have to be able to apply your own thinking to whatever you download. You are the one who is responsible for developing your own learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ma. Ma, do you think this generation is struggling more with distraction, discipline, or a deep loss of meaning and direction?
Well, I think it's all three. Is the age in which I think you found yourselves, and it's all right. When it was my time, we didn't have to. We had limited things. There was only television. There was no Netflix. There was no cable television and all of that, and there was no social media. So I think that is the age in which your generation have found themselves, and even at that, what is important is for you to be able to be self-determined to choose from right and wrong, and not to allow the pressures of society dictate what you do. Yes, I think that quite a number of your people in your generation are overwhelmed. Is just this the content of information, like you mentioned at the beginning, is that is too much. There's social media, there's television, there's AI, there are materials that are now in physical format. So it's a combination of so much to deal with.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so it's not just the fact that you are overwhelmed. You also have this. There's something we call information anxiety.
Wow.
That depth of which one do I choose in the middle of all of this? I'm in the center of all of this. Which one is the correct one? Which one is useful? Which one is how do I detect what is fake news? How do I detect what is misinformation? What is disinformation? So you're all in the middle of all, and that is why the library, particularly University of Jos Library, what we do is that we have this thing called information literacy training. Most of the subjects information literacy.
Okay.
It's the ability to build in the students the ability to determine what is good and what is not good. Which information do I need? Yes, which information, how can I apply the correct information to my knowledge base? How do I apply ethics to information use? So librarians in this university usually go out for training.
The time I interviewed one of the staff here, and I told him that before we started this thing, and I was discussing with my team members, I'm going to the library for a tour. They're like, of all places. Because the truth is, the interest is dying. I don't even, if the caption of this video has library on it, I wonder how many persons would want to even click. But then I just know that someone has to do it.
Yeah.
And beyond, because we have a lot of happy talks on the internet, we have a lot of laughs on the internet, but aside that, how are we creating balance between necessity and entertainment?
Yeah.
And that's why we are doing some of these things. So I feel like even if it's one person that is impacted from your training, it will still go a long way. So I want to appreciate you for that initiative.
Yes, I would say that some of this impact might not be immediate. It's in the long term. That's why I say if you're able to engage or to key into this training, there are skills that will help you develop that you can use way out of this school environment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma. In regards to your profession, right? I think in the academia you're already a professor, and not just a professor. We have professors everywhere. You are managing this the heart of every university. You're managing it as a lady so beautifully, and I was speaking one of this time and I was like, how many look so young? I say, she's a mom, she's not as young as you think. And I'm curious, I want to know what was it like for you growing up? Because I feel you envisioned some of these things. How did you shape yourself from the beginning of your younger years, to be able to attain this level?
Well, I think I had a very good background. Let me see, for my family. One of the things I knew when I was growing up, that was why I mentioned family at the beginning. My father was a very good reader. Even when I was in secondary school, all throughout my years in my family house, we always had a bookshelf. Always. So I grew up to see a bookshelf because my father was an avid reader, and then we used to read. He would buy a book and ask me to read. And then she would ask me, once I read it, we'll sit down and talk about it.
Wow.
Yes, so my father had that time. I remember he bought me a book, I think I was in secondary school, King Solomon's Mines. Wow. It was a very interesting story.
Wow.
He read it and then gave me to read and said, okay, tell me what you read for me. Wow. So I started learning how to read from my parents, from the family background. And I read. I'm a reader. I can read anything. Not because I read library science, but because I've always loved to read. No matter how heavy a document is, I like to build my mind. And what I've come to understand as I get into librarianship is called lifelong learning. Reading keeps your mind alert, even if your body ages. Reading, studying, opening your mind to new things. It keeps you very, very alert. And one of the things also I've come to learn about being librarianship or reading library science is that people who study library science are very versed on almost every subject. Why? Because when we take a book and we're trying to categorize, we call it cataloging. You read half of it.
Wow.
So once you're talking to a librarian, you're talking to somebody who knows a lot about information, about things. I've met people across the world, Liberians across the world that are like that. So for me, I'm actually a studious person. I used to be a studious person, what you call a bookworm, when I was in school. So well, it's not because, and for me it wasn't necessarily because I was reading to pass. It's just interest. One of the things I see about your generation is like you mentioned, there's a decline on reading. It's the only things that you seem to be interested in is just social media. There's all the glitz and the glamour. You can ask a student about what is happening on social media, and they'll tell you. Well, ask them about Nigeria. Ask them about things that have to do with governance. Ask them about things that. So very, very few are still interested. I grew up in my family. There was always a newspaper to read. Now it's even easier for your generation because newspapers are on your phone. Things are on your phone. So you have opportunities for learning and building your mind at your fingertips than we used to. We used to have it only in paper form, but now we have it in digital form. But the choices, that's why I mentioned at the beginning that your generation seem a bit overwhelmed. So I think that for people who want to attain heights, when they just become a professor or become or head a library or become any position, is determination and there's a lot of your focus on whatever you want to do. I always encourage them to remain focused and to begin early to say, okay, this is my goal and I want to keep on at it. But I think that, and then not cut corners and not look for shortcuts. If there's a path, they said just keep on.
I read a book during the break, and The Richest Man in Babylon, and he was one of the persons teaching the students, the community citizens, on how to build wealth. He said if you have a bag of gold and you have a tablet, because in those days they used tablets, and you have a clay tablet inscribed with words of wisdom, which would you choose? And out of the whole crowd of persons he was tutoring, nobody said the clay tablet. All of them said the bag of gold. And I can relate it to my generation because my cliques with the book help. Like, come make money. You can have book and you don't have money, and all of that. And so we are very kind of money focused, wealth focused, probably because we've seen what poverty has done to Nigeria, we've seen what poverty has done to our parents, and a lot of these things. But then the man said something that struck me. He said, we don't have money issues. That you have resources at your beck and call, you have money, you see money every day, but you need wisdom to multiply that to money. Knowledge cannot be, the necessity of knowledge cannot be overemphasized, and I'm so grateful that you're sharing this so freely with us. Thank you so much, Ma.
Yeah, and one of the things I also think that is the fact that let me also emphasize that learning is very important, and learning now is student-centered or people-centered. It's not so much about what you can know now. There's no how do I put it? You can know everything that you need to know by just developing that interest. You understand? It's not necessary that you have to have so much of education. Let me say that what I mean is that I can know as a professor, I can know as much as I need to know by learning. But your generation, you have this very great fortune of having information at your fingertips. The things that I might not know now as a professor, that you will know. Yes, because the technology is in your hands. So the technology is available for knowledge to be centered in the hand of whoever wants it. Understand? And to be able to apply it in such a way that it brings opportunities. You're creating content right now by this. These are things that we couldn't think of years ago. You either had to go to school of this, learn this, but now you are adding this to reading pharmacy, and that's a lot of skill at your hand. So it's learning. You're at the center of learning. It's how you choose to maximize it and grab the opportunity to just do that.
Now, you said something with regards to your reading habits, and I would say that personally it took me a lot of discipline to say, yes, I must sit down to read this thing. And sometimes when I'm reading, my mind is drifting here, but because I know that I need this, so I have to do this. Like, you can't be a baby forever, And I'm wondering, how do you get to that point where reading becomes effortless for you? Because for us, right, there are times to finish the semester and you promise yourself that even signboard, you will not read it. Because the semester was so rigorous that you've read a lot, that you've promised yourself that as I'm having a piece of paper, I will not look at it to see what was written inside. So how did you move from, hey, I have to do this thing because I have to pass, to that point where it becomes leisure for you?
Well, I think it's about the interest doesn't just come, like I told you. First is my background, and secondly is just this quest to know. Yeah, just the quest to know, and anybody can have that. You understand? If you just want to just read for studies and then dump it or then throw it away just because I needed the certificate or my parents forced me to just get a certificate, or maybe one day I'll just use it to get a job. I don't think that would help. But there's this inner quest of knowing things, and it's not just about studying for school. What about cultures? What about people? What about governance? What about society? What about issues that you read to know that? You understand? Yeah. And sometimes it also comes out of genuine concern. You understand? If you're concerned about the community in which you live in, one of the things that can help you is to read about what other people did to solve
a particular problem.
You have to be concerned about issues. Sometimes I read because I want to be aware, I want to understand certain things. I want to care more about people, to care more about situations, to have an understanding about things, just about things. If I read about the stars, for example, the first time I read about the Milky Way, it was just out of interest. And I won't say much about it now, but let me just explain. I was like, why the stars? How is it that some shine brighter than the others? How long did it take? And it was from reading, just interest. I've just been observant. What about plants? What about insects? What about birds? I think that we're in a generation of people who just read things that concern the most immediate. I want to pass my exam, but have you just developed interest in things, animals, cultures, the weather? When you hear things they mention about on when there are issues that concern your community, your society, your country, do you read in depth? Because it's from reading that you can talk about it sensibly. You can talk about it in a way that contributes to issues, in a way that you want to contribute to society, to community, to develop. You understand? It's from reading that also means that when people are talking about issues, it's not just a passing interest. You're very knowledgeable about it. You can help. You understand? You can be a part of it. You can key into any opportunity that comes as a result of that. You understand? So it's not just. I think that it's just that desire to be knowledgeable about things that sometimes drive me to read it. Anytime I hear something new, I'm like, he's saying something. I just want to know. It's just interest. So I think we should learn to just have interest about things around us, about people. That way we develop a deeper sense of understanding of what is going on around us and an ability to contribute to how we can solve problems. All of the information that is available in whatever space, in whatever format, leads us to one thing: how do we use it to solve problems? One of the things about having access to information is also that it's for problem solving.
Yes.
Problems.
You have to apply.
Yes, you have to apply. Yes. Because they can't tell you for if let's say the government calls a young person now and says, we want you to join, what are you bringing to the table? And then if you don't know anything, how will you be useful?
Oh God.
Yeah. So it's your knowledge, the ability to expand your mind, to open up your mind to issues, means that you can contribute. And when you start young, it gives you an opportunity. It gives you a seat on the table of people who are making decisions to solve problems.
Yes.
But if you don't want to know, if you don't,
nobody consults you.
No, nothing to offer.
Oh my goodness.
We have nothing to offer. If we have issues of leadership and now we're facing an election, how many young people have read the Constitution of Nigeria? How many people are interested in the Electoral Act? How many people don't just say, don't let me just do it. No. I want to know. I want to be a part of it. Maybe tomorrow it might be my turn to lead. But let me start now. And one of the things I tell myself, and often, is that I don't need a platform to be relevant. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, if I have information about something, I can help somebody. Yes. Not necessarily when I become the governor, the president. No. If you start small and your knowledge helps you. That's why I said interest in community, interest in issue. It's already a platform.
Yes.
It's already a platform.
Yes. I think because as young people, we are so, because of what the social media shows us, we want to be in limelight that you forget that your immediate space. There's something the Bible said about him sending us first to Jerusalem, to Judea, and then to the utmost part of the world. So it's starting from from your household. You are an agent of change. That's a platform. Then to wherever the clubs you are in, your societies, and then before, if limelight is meant for you, and then limelight. So thank you so much, ma, for sharing this. Think on a personal basis and being enriched. Thank you so much, ma. Please, you said something about the art of reading. How does assimilation work for you? Do you have any hack that can help students with assimilation and retention?
Well, like one of the things that we see with our students, because I also lecture, is that students have this regurgitative reading. Regurgitation is what you call cramming.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're not learning. You're just
Copy and paste.
yeah. You're just returning to the teacher what he gave you. You're not adding. You're not adding anything to it. And I think that one of the things about retentive learning is also the fact that you read widely. You understand? Don't just read what is given to you, but read to add to what you were taught. That way it helps you. And then learn also to write things in your own words. When I read something, I try also to understand it in my own mind and write it in my own words.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
That way I have retained what I've learned, and I can say it in a way that reflects my own thinking without necessarily copying, without necessarily also just scanning and giving that. You understand? So I think that it's your ability to be able to read widely, say things in your own word, learn to express your mind the way you see it. You understand? Without having to say, okay, I must say it in a way that other person said it. You understand? If you say things in your own word, you're able to remember it the next time. And at the same time, you're building your own voice. Yes. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what's one book you've read that's probably while coming up that literally changed your life? That would you recommend for young people?
Oh, okay. I think I've read a lot of books. I've also read Nelson Mandela's book, A Long Walk to Freedom.
Wow.
It gives me an understanding of struggling of people, leaders who gave their lives for their people, for their community. I can go on and on. Like I said, I think there's some I can't remember, but I know that the reading has informed the way I think.
Yes.
It has also informed the choices I make. It has also informed the way I relate with people, the way I understand issues, the way also that I should react to issues, the way also I should contribute to issues. I also want to suggest that one of the things that we're lacking is the content that is appropriate. Okay? I think that if we want our children in Nigeria to speak Nigerian languages, we should have them in a content that makes it easier for them to access. You know?
Yes,
So it's like, if we're interested in developing our culture, is it in a digital content? Because your generation understand the digital format. You want
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that I'll encourage people.
Okay, we just have a few to go. In a world driven by speed, short-form content, especially AI and constant stimulation, do libraries still hold the same relevance they once did, or has their purpose evolved?
Always. A library is always relevant. Always. You mentioned clay tablets as I talked about. They used to have writings that were in clay tablets, and then there were parchments, and then we got to books, and then after books we came to pen and paper, and then there was electronic databases, and then there's social media, and one of the sayings that we have, one of the rules that we have in librarianship is that a library is a living organism. It means a library never dies. Once the format of the information changes, the library also changes. Libraries never die, never. So libraries are never going to fade away. The work of a librarian is never going to fade. And at some point they told us that when the computers came, that it was going to take away our jobs. But we remain at the center of teaching. Libraries remain at the center of learning. We taught people how to use the computers, the information that are contained in computers. We're also teaching people information skills that are relevant in the age of AI. So our job just becomes more important. That's what I think. The best search engine is a librarian.
I think we've basically come to like almost the close, and before we like draw the curtain, I would also want to know, with regards to beyond the beautiful office space, I know that an office is a responsibility beyond the glamour we see. So I don't know, I know that leadership comes with sacrifices people never get to see. What did this journey demand from you personally? What have you overcome? And what would you advise students who aspire to lead in this kind of space?
Well, I would say that it's a lot of work. Well, like I said, it took years to get to this position. It's not as if it's something that comes to you. You must have gone through a lot of training, a lot of exposure, a lot of research for years. You understand? So, what it does is that it builds you for the position. You understand? I know that there are a lot of challenges, and one of it is what you've mentioned. This library stands at a very, very strategic position to encourage learning, to encourage positive student learning outcomes. We are interested in students passing the exams. I don't think that maybe your classmates or students think like that the library is interested, but we are very interested in student learning outcomes. That's why we make sure that the resources are organized for easy use. We make sure also that you're able to access them in a format that is very easy, that is user friendly. We also want to ensure that this space serves for you to be able to have an environment that is conducive for you to learn. Yes. So library is interested in student learning outcome. We want you to pass your exams. We want you to do well when you leave this place. We want you to recognize that this place was central to the entire learning process while you were here. So the job is tasking, but it's also very possible. It's possible to do it because we have the support of the management of the university. We have the support of the federal government. Every university has a library. And the government is supporting that we have access to resources. We have a building that is user friendly. Like you said, this is one of the most beautiful libraries in Nigeria, and the space is convenient. It's convenient for students. It's a lot of work, but I think it's achievable. Very beautiful. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. We are. Okay, I think before I also say this, as a lady, I'm curious, how do you balance this with family?
Well, I let me say, God gives me the strength to do that, and at the same time, I have the support of my family at every level to ensure that, yes. And yes, family is very important. Once you're at peace with your family, you're able to project an image of somebody who is balanced. Yes, you have my family. I have the support of my family, and yes, I think the people in the library are very hardworking. My staff are very hardworking. They're very conscientious with their jobs.
Thank you so much, Ma. And with regards to the structures and the facilities you said are going to be put in place, we can't wait to see them materialize.
Yes, the time will come. I think that it's a developmental stage, but we are working on ensuring that we don't lack anything.
I pray it happens because Nigeria is full of promises. It's weakening, especially for a country such as ours. We are doing our best, but then sometimes things are always on a promise level.
Well, I'm a firm believer in Nigeria. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
The best thing that we can keep having is hope.
Yes.
Yes, and we believe it will happen. Yeah. It might not happen at the time we want, but it definitely will. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are more than grateful for this opportunity. All right, scholars. Mama has given it to us hot this morning. I was literally on the edge of my seat when she was talking, and on a personal basis, I'm going back to work on my ability to maximize the library. I'm not going to spend these 6 years in this school and leave without exploring the wealth that is embedded in this place, and even on the e-space of the library. So I want you to know that it's possible. Is it possible? Ask yourself, is it possible that the library is more than a space filled with books? Is it possible that the library is a place where people's destiny are quietly being shaped outside of the camera while no one is watching, so that tomorrow when people hit it big, you will not be asking, na luck, na favor, na their papa, na their mama, na connection. You will not know that these are definite choices, like she said, made from her formative years to ensure that she's an avid reader, she knows what she's supposed to know. So that even as a lady, when she steps into spaces and they are saying, what does this woman have to say? When she opens their mouth, they go bow. So please ensure that you are doing what you're supposed to do as a scholar that you are. For you to be on this space, it means you're intentional about your life, and I am here to make sure it happens. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, please, Mama, tell them to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and I also encourage you to use the library.
Thank you so much, Ma. This is the end of our sitting with Professor Ladi Lawal, and we're saying thank you so much, Ma, and God bless you.
This madam, we don't doze off.
Kai, feel. Kai, tired.
No.
2 hours.
So you don't read all these things finish like this? Maybe I just the start guy.
See how you take serious. This super try for you.
Thanks to Professor Lawal and thanks for that link you sent for me. Like it helped me, like it's helping me.
Let my hand out. Honestly, I feel like everybody needs to watch this video. Like
seriously, like see how I'm so concentrated. I better go. Even if my man come next, I no go answer that call.
Talk about
not answer the call. Oh,
I know say
babe, please can you call me back? Please. Like we'll talk later, probably around 12 or something when I'm done reading. Just call me back later around 12. Thank you.
God, I'll
Let me finish this last. I'm in page 7 now.
Like you're not in love with your book too.
Thank you for that video.
I should go and watch too, so that you fall in love with your book. Falling in love. So I beg, wake me 2 hours.
Right.
2 hours. So
right.
You know past 2 hours.
And I'll wake you up by 11, ba.
11. Highest 11:30. I beg, make her appreciate life.
If you don't wake up, I'm gonna make I pour you hot water.
Well, I promise you too.
I know.
Boiling water. I got bleach. Okay, please help me drop my glass.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.